Hello, I'm Professor Francis, and this is a question on the HESI review. It's one of our HESI review questions, and the applicant had asked us to go over it to support them in it. So here we go. We're going to go through this problem. The question states convert 32,000 ounces to tons. Okay, so this is a conversion question, and first thing we need to do for any and all conversion questions is have what's called a conversion factor or equivalence, meaning how many tons or how many ounces are in a ton. All right. So where can we find that? Well, let's go to the whiteboard and stop sharing for a second. Okay, here we go. And as you can see at the top, we have an email, web address, right, for the St. Paul School of Nursing HESI support website. If you go to this website, you're going to see, and you scroll down to the bottom of the page where it says quick links, right? You're going to see a link for conversion factors and formulas. When you click on that, it will provide a lot of the conversion factors you're going to need for the HESI. All right, so let's take a look at, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the website, all right? That's this address. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here at the bottom, you see conversion factors and formulas. We click on that, and we will get a sheet of not only conversion factors, right, which we see here, but a lot of other information. But for this problem, we're only going to be using conversion factors. So we have to convert from ounces to tons, right? So we see we don't have a direct conversion factor from ounces to tons. We have from 1 pound to 16 ounces and from 1 ton to 2,000 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from ounces to pounds and then from pounds to tons. So we're going to use both of these. We're going to do two conversions. Right. Now let's go back to our problem. Right. This is the problem. We're going to convert 30. We're going to use those conversion factors to convert 32,000 ounces to tons. All right. So let's go to the whiteboard and do this now. Okay. So here are our conversion factors. We wrote them down for convenience. We have 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and then the other conversion factor is 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. So how do we use this? How do you do a conversion problem? Well, it's very simple. We take these conversion factors, right? Let's see if I can write up here, conversion, yeah. And we have to put them in a fractional format. Conversion factors. What do I mean by that? Like this, right? We just take one of these numbers and we put them over the other. So we have two choices. We can put the pound on top, and we're going to use LB for pound, just so we have an abbreviation. And 16 ounces on the bottom, or we can do it the other way. We can put 16 ounces on the top and a pound on the bottom, 1 pound. So how do we know which conversion factor we need, or which fractional format to put it in? Well, what are we trying to go to? What are we trying to end up with? Excuse me. In the long run, we want to get to tons, but in the interim, we want to go from ounces to pounds. We want to get to pounds first, and then we're going to go from pounds to tons. So whatever we want to end up with, right? In fact, let me put this down. We're going to go from 32,000 ounces to pounds first, right? So we'll use one conversion factor to do that. We'll use this one here, pounds to ounces. And then once we get there, we're going to go from whatever we get in pounds to our final destination of tons. Okay, so we're going to break it down into two conversions. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we want to go from ounces to pounds, so we know whatever we end up with, whatever we want to end up with goes on top. So we pick the conversion factor, this one. Why? Because it has what we want to end up with on top, which is ounces, right? And we simply multiply that by, oh, I'm sorry. We want to, that's ounces are on top there. We want to go with this one. This one has the pounds on top. Let's fix that. This one has ounces on top. We don't want that one. We want the one that we want to end up with pounds, so we're going to go with the one that has the pounds on top. So it'll be this one. So how do we use this? We simply multiply this conversion factor by whatever whatever unit we have. These are units, ounces and tons of units. So it's going to be 32 ounces, and I'm going to abbreviate ounces here. 32,000 ounces times our conversion factor of 1 pound. I'll make this clear that it's 1 over 16 ounces. And again, we picked this one because we want to end up with pounds, and this one has pounds on top. That's how we know that's the one we want. All right. Now, whenever we multiply, whenever we do any operation with fractions, we have to make sure all the numbers are in fractional format. All right, so we had to get this 32,000 ounces in fractional format. How do we do that? Very simple. We just put a 1 underneath it, and there you go. Voila, it's fractional format. Now we can just apply the rules of multiplying fractions, right? Which is you multiply the two numbers on the top, and you multiply the numbers across the bottom, right? Now we have these units here, ounces and pounds, and the great thing about those is they cancel out just like numbers. Meaning, if you find a matching pair in the top and the bottom, they just cancel out. So we have a matching pair of ounces, and the top and bottom here is the one on top matching with the one on the bottom, and that's it. They're gone. Okay. Now we just do the arithmetic. So it's 3,200 times 1 pound. I keep saying 100. 32,000 times 1 pound is 32,000 pounds divided by the ounces that cancel out. So we just have 1 times 16, which is 16, right? And when we do that, we're going to get 2,000 pounds, right? 32,000 divided by 16 simply gives you 2,000. And we have the pounds up there, so it's 2,000 pounds. Okay. Right. So now we know how many pounds we're dealing with. We can go ahead and do the second conversion. So this is the first one, first step, so to speak. And remember, we're looking to get to tons. Now we have our equivalent in pounds. We go ahead and we fill in a number here. So this is 2,000 pounds over here. And we repeat the whole process all over again. We just did a conversion from ounces to pounds. Now we're going to do a conversion from pounds to tons, which is what we want for the problem. Right? So we come over here to do any conversion. As we said before, we need an equivalent, so what's known as the conversion factor, which we can go to the web page, our HESI support web page, go down to scroll down the bottom of the page and find the conversion factors and formulas sheet link that we just click on, and we can see a lot of conversions there. Now, that's not an exhaustive list, but it will be most of the conversions you need on the HESI will be there, right? You can download that, you can print it out, keep it for your notes while you're practicing. And if you while you're practicing, if you come across any other conversion factors that aren't on the list, just add it to the list. That's all. All right. So let's do the same thing. In order to use it, this conversion factor, we can't use it in this form. We have to write it in fractional form. So we're going to write the two choices. And I'm writing the two choices just to emphasize that you do have two options, but if you see your option right away, you don't have to write them both. Just write the one that you need. So we can write it as 1 ton over 2,000 pounds. And again, I'm going to abbreviate that. Or we can write 2,000 pounds over 1 ton. Okay, and again, which one do we need? Which one do we use? We look at what we want to end up with. In this case, we're going from pounds to tons. So we know that tons has to be on top, and that is this one right here. Right. And now all we do is we multiply what we have, the value that we have here, by our conversion factor, and we'll end up with the units that we want. So it's going to be 2,000 pounds times our conversion factor, which is 1 ton, over 2,000 pounds. And again, we have a fraction here, so we have to make sure all the numbers are in fractional format. So we're just going to put a 1 underneath this 2,000 pounds. And now we're great. We can just follow rules of multiplication of fractions. Right. Now, as I said, units are great because they cancel out just like numbers. So if we find a matching pair in the top and bottom, they cancel out. All right, so we can cancel out the pound unit. So we cancel this pound in the top with this pound in the bottom, right? And oh, look at this. We can also cancel out the 2,000 in the top, matching with the 2,000 in the bottom. Whenever we find matching pairs in top and bottom, we can cancel it out. So the 2000 on top over here, that cancels out to 1 uh, with this 2000 because we have a matching pair at the top and bottom. They both cancel out to 1, right? And now we just multiply across. So we have 1 times 1 ton is simply 1 ton. And then in the bottom, we have 1 times 1, which is 1. Now, anything divided by 1 is itself. So we end up with 1 ton divided by 1 is simply 1 ton. So our answer is going to be 1 ton. All right. And there we go. Right. And if we go back to our form, yep, let me switch back over there. Stop sharing. And remember, our answer is 1 ton. And that should be in our answer as one of our on our answer list. We go back to that, and there it goes. 1 ton. We will select this one. Okay. So everyone, I hope that helped. Okay. If it did, please remember to like and subscribe, and we will be back with another question. We look for our applicants to always submit these questions through our website, whatever you need that you don't understand, any type of question. Please don't be shy, just submit it. The instructions are on the website. Let me bring back that page, the web page information. All right, and that is here. Right here. No, it's on the whiteboard. Here we go. Right at the top of the whiteboard, here's the web page. It's HTTPS, okay, sites.google.com, right? View, and it says HESI Prep St. Paul's, right? You go to that website. You can, on that page, you can follow instructions. It's a very short website, and you can submit any problem. If you're practicing and you come across a problem you got stuck on, just submit it, and we'll make a video for it for you and post it on in our video library at the same website. Right. So I hope this helps, guys, and see you in the next video. Take care.